Hope you are having a good day. Welcome to our new Sunday stream time. So the schedule is getting sort of jumbled around a bit because I'm teaching, and I happen to be teaching during part of the old schedule. So now I'm going to be streaming Sundays and Tuesdays, although due to a transition, I won't be streaming this Tuesday. So you will go a week without me, but you might get some Tristan in the meantime. But then I'll be streaming Sundays and Tuesdays. All right, so we have this puzzle from Tallcat to start. So as always, we start with the most voted puzzle by the people who have voting privileges. So that's people who donate at the windmill level or above. And so the 8 votes that this puzzle has are from David, Plonktime, Russ, Tallcat, AFK, Luda, Paulfly, and Nordy. So thank you all so much for your support. Oh, sorry to hear that, Shroomy. No one likes having a bad week. It's never a good sign. Okay, so we have, oops, wrong tool. So we have a Tallcat special here, so it involves the 4 corner things, of course. So what do we have? We have counting quads. A digit N in a cell touching a question mark clue indicates exactly how many times that digit appears in the cells touching question mark clues. Okay, so we've got sort of our traditional counting circles, and our traditional counting circles seem to sum to 32. So if there's a 3 here, for instance, it says there's 3 3s in those cells. In fact, I'm going to gently highlight these cells just so that they sort of stand out like that. We'll do that. And so the consequence of that is that the sum of all the numbers that appear in blue, counting them only once each, is 32. And so we need to omit digits summing to 13 from these things. And so as Vish points out immediately, I can't put 9 in the shaded cells because I would need to put 9 9s in the shaded cells. And that's a problem because I can't put 1 in row 5 or column 5. So the digits missing from the quads include 9 and sum to 13. So it's either 9 and 4, or it is 9 and 1 and 3. Those are the only options. We also have all of our usual Kropke dot stuff. So this means one of these digits is double the other, keeping in mind that neither of them can be 9. I think that means neither of them can be 4.5 either. And also the white dots mean you get a pair of consecutive numbers. I do notice that actually puts a fair amount of tax on odd numbers in this business. That does put an 8 here. Vish is right. So 8 definitely does occur 8 times in blue. So that actually creates a funny question of, okay, so I've got 8 8s in these cells. And so I've got sort of a weird sort of like quadruple Zach wing kind of thing, where I know that there's 4 8s in these 4 columns and 4 8s in these 4 columns in blue. And likewise in these 4 rows, I know that there's 8 8s. And so therefore this digit is an 8. That is very clever. And let us bring out Zach for the 8 dance. Hello! Boop boop ba-doop! Woo! Ba-doop ba-doop! Wah! Ba-doop ba-doop! Wee! Ba-doop 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 wah! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. And for those of you who have not met Giant Zach, Zach's understudy, we can remember he is around with us today as well. But he can only do the simpler dances. So that 8 actually guarantees that there's a 3 and a 6 in one of these dots, because the only options here, there's a 3 and a 6 and a 2. So I'm going to actually put these in yellow and corner mark 3, 6, and 2. into these cells, because the options for black are 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8, and 3, 6. We can't do anything with 8, so we need a 2, and that does that. Chad is also pointing out that there's a 9 in one of these two cells, because in this column, owing to the 8 here, I can't put a 9 on a white dot. I can never put a 9 on a black dot. So we know that there's a 9 there, which actually guarantees that one of these is 9, although I don't really want to invent a new color just to mark that just yet. So this can only, because of what's in the column, this can only be 2, 4, or 3, 6. Those are the only options. If this is 3, 6, it forces this white dot, I think, because this white dot definitely has an odd number on it. And that odd number isn't 9, and it's not 1 or 7 either. So it's 3 or 5 are the only options. And so these numbers are 2, 4, 6. Oh, I see. Okay, so there's something going on with this this business. So this just can't be 2, 3, because if this is 2, 3, it breaks this dot. That's observation 1. So this is either 3, 4. 3, 4 doesn't work either. If this is 3, 4, these are 2, 6. So actually there's no 3 here. So actually the white digit here is a 5. And we have a virtual 4, 6 pair in here, because we know there's a 4 or a 6 here, and a 4 or a 6 here, just by viewing that. So we've got that. So 4, 6 in this box are, well, we know. So the 6 in this box, at the very least, is definitely in one of these 4 cells, which I think is worth remarking upon. That one of our 6s goes in one of these places because of the fact that I need a 6 on one of these dots. Okay. We're going to put off the set argument as long as we can, but we'll get there eventually. But we currently have other low-hanging fruit, I think. So so I think that is where we'll look for the time being. Okay. This is the one box that doesn't have an 8 in blue, because there are 8 boxes, and this box doesn't have an 8 in blue. So every other box has an 8 in blue. So in particular, one of these 2 cells needs to be 8, and one of these 2 cells needs to be 8. And one of these 2 cells needs to be 8, and one of these 2 cells needs to be 8. Which is going to immediately imply that the 8s in the corners are actually living along here. Now, notably, if 4 is not, if 4 is the digit omitted from blue, then this can't be 4, 8, and the 8 is there for whatever that is worth. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we could have double 8 here, for example. Okay, so none of these white dots have 8s on them, so they don't have 9s on them, and they don't have 1s on them. So these are from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, except that I know there's not 5s on either of these either, because of that 5 there. So neither of these things can be 5. So this has to be either... so the odd digit on these is only 3 or 7. Just based on what we have seen so far. I do know that there need to be 7 7s in blue. I bet thinking about where the 7 7s in blue go could be a productive area of research. Because if I do put a 7 on this dot, then, okay, so let me take the smallest deduction first. This isn't a 7, because there's only one more 7 that's in white. Because there's already one 7 that's in white. There's only 2 7s in white in total. If this were a 7, it would force that to be a 7. So that would be 2 sevens not in white. If there is a 7 on here, then that's the only other 7 in white. I don't know that that's immediately a problem. Let's see. Selena says 9 in column 4 is yes, it does. Yes, that's beautiful. Okay, yeah. So 9 in column 4. Remember, there are no 9s in blue. These aren't 9. These aren't 9. The 9 in this box is corner marked already, so those aren't 9. That's not 9 because it's blue. So the 9 is in one of these two places, but it's not there because that would put an 8 there. And note, I know one of these is 8 and one of these is 8. Or I guess you could say it this way. Every other 8 is blue. So this can't be 9. So indeed, this is 9. Which is very nice. So that means there's a 9 up in one of these two cells, just by good old-fashioned sudoku. 9 in row 8 is just placed, isn't it? Isn't 9 there? Because I can't put 9 in blue. I can't put 9 on this white dot. I can't put 9 in the same box with the 9. Yeah. 9 in row 8, I think, is also placed. Let's see. So 9 in this box, I know, is in one of these two cells. Oh, 9 in this box is, in fact, here, because 9 can't go here. It would break the 8. So, yeah, so 9 is there. Now 9 in box 1 is there. 9 in box 7 is assuredly in one of these two cells. I don't know which one yet. But that has placed the 9 up here by my corner marks from before. Let's see, how many 9s do we have left? See, yeah, we've still got 1 9 in this row at one of the ends or the other. Yeah, so we've got a handful of 9s left. Don't know that we can say anything immediately about the rest of the handful of 9s. Okay. Okay, yeah. So Chad is pointing out that every row has a 7 in blue, except for row 5 and row 9. So sort of every collection, rows, columns, and houses, you can do this whole 7 sevens business. And so in terms of rows, there are 7 sevens in blue, and they're not in these two. So there's blues in sevens in every other blue. And so in particular, that means there's a 7 in both of these patterns, which means there's no 7 here, which means there's no 6 here either, which means this isn't 6 either. Means there's definitely a 3 in one of these cells for whatever that is worth. Actually, doesn't that mean, yeah, that does mean these are a 7-8 pair, because I need to put a 7 in blue in this row, so these are a 7-8 pair. So we can actually just fill that in. Okay, so that means this digit doesn't have a whole lot of options, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this digit's definitely even, I guess. But I think this can be 2, 4, or 6, actually, annoyingly. So I don't think that's quite as potent as I had hoped it would be. Okay, what about these digits? Okay, they can't be 1. I think they can be 2. I think they can be 3. They can't be 4. They can't be 5. They can't be 6. They can't be 7. They can't be 8. And they could be 9. So this is a 9 and a 2 or a 3. For what it is worth. And this, I think I concluded, was a 2, a 4, or a 6, which I don't love pencil marking, but I'm going to pencil mark anyway. Let's see. This is an 8. That's a 7. That can't be a 7. So this can't be an 8, because this can't be a 7, because remember, we know the two rows where the 7 is in white. So this can't be a 7 or a 9, so therefore that can't be an 8. The tiniest of tiny deductions, but hey, we'll take it. Let's see. I mean, I do know 7 is one of the corner digits in here for what it is worth. So the white digits are either 1 and 3 or 4. So there's a 1 or a 4 in here. So in row 5, let's think about row 5. And what happens with 1 and 4. 1 of 1 and 4 is here. 1 of 1 and 4 is on the black dot with the 2. And so that's all the 1s and 4s. We know we've got the 3s and 6s. We know we've got the 2. So that means that these outside things have to be from 5, 7, 9. So that's all that's left. I thought that was going to be more exciting than it immediately turned out to be. Oh, in fact, there's 7, 9. Tristan has done this in a way cleaner way than I have, which unfortunately removes all of the beauty from it. But Tristan's point was, yeah, there's a 7 in here. So where does the 7 go in row 5? Where does the 9 go in row 5? Yeah, so they need to put the 7 and the 9 there. Okay. So there is a 1 or 4 in these cells, is the point, because the remaining 1 or 4 is here for what it's worth. Let's see. And there's also a 5, right? So these are from 1, 4, 5. And there's definitely a 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I was hoping that would tell me that there was something else that went over here, but I don't think it immediately does. I was trying to see if I could do anything by hunting 7s, but I can't immediately hunt 7s. Let's see. Sadly, I don't know what column is missing a 7 yet, I don't think. Let's see. AFK is counting 5s. So there's no 5 here. So we know there's 5 5s in blue, and they aren't in these cells. So if we look at the outside, I don't quite see how that works. Yeah, I do agree there's no 1s on the Fistamifel ring. That is a worthwhile thing to point out from Garion. If there is a 1 on the Fistamifel ring, sorry, if there's a 1 in blue on the Fistamifel ring, then that puts a second 1 in blue. So that does not work. So none of the blue digits are 1 for whatever it is worth. So when I look at where the 1 goes, in this column, I think there's only 3 places it can go. Right. Okay, yeah. So I see AFK's argument now. So the point is those are definitely not 5. And the total, because these cells are the same as these cells, that's this Fistamifel ring thing that people are talking about. The number of 5s is twice the number of 5s in the Fistamifel ring, except for this cell. If I don't put a 5 here, then the number of 5s in blue is definitely even. That doesn't work. So this has to be a 5. I agree with that. Okay, so that's the 5. That's the 4 or the 6. Okay, and so I now know there's 2 5s living around in the blue around here, for whatever that is worth. I don't think I know 1 isn't in blue, do I? Oh, I do now know. No, I don't know that 1 isn't in blue because 1 could be in one of these 2 cells, unfortunately. Because 1 can go in one of these without creating any parity problems. Uh, okay. Let's see. Oh, I see. So if I put a 1 here, it puts a 1 in blue in box 5 in addition to putting a 1 in a corner. Okay, so these aren't 1. That makes sense. Okay, those aren't 1. And so if these can't be 1 because it would put 2 1s into blue through nonsense, that means that when I look at where 1 goes in row 2, I can't put it in blue because if I put 1 in blue in row 2, I have to put it on the Fistemafel ring where it of necessity now goes in blue. And so that doesn't work. I don't think that's true, Emma. But the 1 definitely goes here. Because I can put 1 here still, as far as I know. The argument I gave about 1s was very specific to being on the Fistemafel ring also. Unless you just meant these cells are 2, 3, 4, 6, in which case, yeah, I agree. Those cells are 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. I'm wondering if I'm supposed to like notice that there's some sort of combination of like 8, 7, 8 doesn't actually work because it breaks 8 somewhere or something. That seems possible that there's something like that. I wonder if I should also think about 2s in terms of 2s in blue, because there can only be 2 2s, and so I can put at most 1 2 in these cells. And if I do put a 2 here, if I put a 2 here, I'm obligated to put a 2 here as well, right? Because then I just can't put any 2s in. Oh, no, I could also put a 2 there, right? Never mind. I think there are options for how I could get away with that. Let's see. The 1 in this row now is over here for sure. And I know that's not a 1 because of the aforementioned reason that that would put a second 1 in the border. No, that would not put a second 1 in the border. No, that would put a second 1 in the border because that's part of the Fistemafel ring. So there's a 1 over here for what it's worth. I can't put a 1 in any of these cells. So the 1 in this column is down here. This is 1, that's a 2, which seems very specific, but I don't at least immediately see how it would break. So now I look at where 1 goes in this row, and now the 1 in this row definitely goes in one of those 2 cells. Tristan claims you can't put a 2 in a corner in box 5, but I don't think that's right. Okay. Yeah, so that sort of just did the 1s around the edges. So now the question is, has that made it so there's nowhere that 1 can possibly go? No, this is just saying if 1 is in blue, it's in blue in the corner in the center. So that's basically the only conclusion we've come to, is that if there is a 1 in blue, it's in one of these cells. Which maybe if I press on it in the right way will tell me something. But it doesn't immediately seem to. Now, there's either 3 3s in blue or 0 3s in blue, which is interesting. There's either 4 4s or 0 4s. Yep, that's what this little plus sign here is demarcating. Okay, so the 1 being over here does tell me that this is either 2 4 8 or 3 6. Sorry. So there's either a 3 or a 4 in these two cells, is the reason why I made that obnoxious pencil mark. So if there's always a 3 or a 4 here, that's interesting, because this digit is the 3 or the 4. Because remember, we know there's either a 3 or a 4, but we don't know which. So the one that's in blue is actually definitely here. Emma's point, I think, is that we have a 6 in here, so I can't actually put 6 in either of these cells. Because if I put 6 in one of these cells, then my remaining... Oh, no, I can because of that cell. Darn it. No, never mind. Sorry. We need an odd number of 6s in... Wait. So we need an odd number of 6s in these two cells? Yeah, we need... Yeah, we know how many... Oh, yeah, the brain. We need 3 6s in these blue cells on the outer, so that there's also 3 6s on the ring, but one of the 3 6s on the ring needs to be in one of these 3 cells. That's what it says. And so one of these is a 6. I don't quite know what to do with that, but one but not both, for whatever it's worth. Let's see. Two, 3, 4. Yeah, this combination of pencil marks intrigues me. If this number is even, then it gets shunted over into one of these. Yeah, one of the yellows is definitely 3. Yeah, the reason I highlighted yellow was to sort of corner mark these digits into it. Okay, Emma's saying one of these is 6. So only one of these two is 6. And so therefore I need 6s in both of these blues, because we said we need 3 6s in the corners. And we already have sort of ruled out 6. So we know that there's a 6 in each of these, is the point. Okay, and so now these aren't 6 as we contemplate this, at least. Oh, and this isn't 6 anymore. because we now know, owing to that, that one of these three is 6 within this box. That is interesting. So if this is 2, 4, these are 6, 8. It doesn't sound fantastic to me, but I don't know if this is immediately broken. If this were 6, that would be 5 or 7, but that seems fine to me as far as I can tell. Oh, actually, this can't be 7. So if this is 6, that's 5, because remember, one of these is a 7. In fact, one of these two very specific cells is a 7, because of the fact that we know that the 7s are missing in row 5 and row 9. So yeah, one of these two is a 7. So this is certainly not a 7. So if this is a 6, that's a 5, is the only option. Let's see. Is the question to ask what happens if there's no 4s in blue? Because if there's no 4s in blue, there's 4 4s in these cells. Does that immediately break in some way that I don't immediately see? And of course, the other option is that there's 3 3s in these cells, but that's, of course, much less potent. I worried that the 4s were going to like chase around and contradict some corner marks or something, but at least as far as corner marks I currently have, I don't think that it contradicts anything. Oh, let's see. Garian says this can't be 1 anymore because it makes that a 2. And then that gives us a 3, 6 dot in the column. But row 2, column 5 would also be a 6. Two, 3, 6. Why would this be a 6? Three, 6, 2, 9. Why is this not 4? In that universe. Oh, this white dot. Okay, yes. Okay, so yeah. So if this is a 1, that's a 2, which makes this 3, 4, making that 6. But also makes this 3, 6, making that a 4, and this can therefore be neither. Ugh, that is disgusting. But I agree, this can't be 1. So this is 1 by our corner marks from before. Let's see. So now one of these two cells is 1. Do I know this can't be 1 for similar reasons? I doubt it, but maybe. Let's see. I'm running out of evens in this row, but I don't really care about evens in this row. Yeah, I did not assume that it was an intended step unless there was a way that made it way more natural to see than the way that we saw it. keep trying to decide if I know if these two digits are the same or not. But I don't think I do. The one white dot entirely in blue. Like the fact that it could just be 7-8 is what bothers me about like trying to think about it. I was trying to decide if it being 7-8 was going to force some weird nonsense over here. That was one of the things I was thinking about earlier, but I could not figure it out if that was indeed what was going to happen. Let's see. 7-8 does break. Why does this quad need a 7-8? I don't think this quad needs an 8. If these are both 8, I don't think this quad needs an 8. I don't think that's true, AFK, because a quad can have 2 8s. We could do it with rows, columns, or boxes, but the quads don't have rows, columns, or boxes associated with them, unfortunately. Sadly, I was really hoping you were going to convince me that I was wrong, AFK. I am sad to have convinced you that you were wrong. That is sadly not the direction that leads to the puzzle being solved. I know one of these two is 9. I don't know if that's worth marking, but I'll go ahead and throw it in there. Why not? I was trying to think about like if something like 3 3s or 4 4s was going to be problematic with this Fistamafel ring parity nonsense, but I didn't immediately see it when I started asking myself that kind of question. Maybe that combined with the fact that I know there's a 3 or 4 in blue here. So there's at least 1 3 4 here. There's at least there's at least 1 1 4. Well, there definitely is 1 1 4 here. So if it's 4, is that a problem? That might be a problem, actually. If 4 is in blue, there's a 4 in blue here. And there's a 4 in blue here. That would force us to put a 4 both in one of these two cells and this cell. That doesn't work, right? I don't think that works, actually. I think if I hypothesize that there's a 4 here, I don't think that works. Because if there is a 4 in blue here, then there's definitely a 4 in one of these. And so then where are my other 2 4s? I can't put any more 4s in any of these cells. Oh, no, I need to put 1 4 in one of those cells. Sorry, no, I do need to put 1 4 in one of those cells because it matches this 4 maybe. Oh boy, somehow in my head I lose track of this parity thing every time I try and calculate it. Let's see. Fish says 2 4s outside, 1 on the ring in blue, 1 on the ring not in blue, and 1 in box 5. Okay, that levels out. Let's see. Tallcat is encouraging us to count cells on the outside. So by Tallcat's counts, that is 13 of the cells in the outside. We know what goes in them, and we need 3 more cells in the outside somehow. And those 3 more are either 4s or 1s and 3s. Right, because that we've accounted for every other number that goes in blue. No, we haven't accounted for 2s. We haven't accounted for 2s yet. So they're 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. And 2 is the weird one where these could both be 2. Oh, no, those can't both be 2. If these are both 2, then we also put a 2 in here. As with every counting circle puzzle, I feel like this is beautiful until we get to this point, and then it's just heinous. Let's see. Which is just how counting circles work as a mechanic. Must have 1, 2 in the corners. Right. If I put no 2s in the corners, then I'd have to put it. Right. If I put no 2s in the corners, then I'd have to put no 2s along here because of the fist and fellery, and I'd have to put 2 2s in these cells. So there is 1 2 in the corners. So if no 2 in corners, 2 2s in box blue and box 5, I agree. So there's 1 2 in the corners. The reason why 2 2s in the corner doesn't work is because then these would both be 2, and that would put an extra 2 in box 5. For whatever that is worth. So that's 14 of the numbers accounted for. So we know there's exactly 1 2. So 4 8s, 3 7s, 3 6s, 3 5s, 1 2. 2 more cells, and so it's either 2 4s or some combination of 1s and 3s. Well, we know there's never 1s in the corners, actually, because 1s in the corners we know would lead to 2 1s in blue. So it's never 1s. So it's either 2 3s or 2 4s. Let's see. Tallcat says, you know that with 3 5s in the corners, there must be a 5 8 pair in box 4 or box 6 blue. Yeah, so some pair so if there's 3 5s, that means we're always going to get 5. Yeah, we're going to get 2 5s sort of forced into these cells. And it can't be that they're forced into these cells. Okay, so 3 5s force 2 5s in these cells just by sudoku. So these 6 cells have 2 5s, and they have 1 7. So 2 5s, 1 7, 3 8s. That's all the digits that go in these cells. That is Tallcat's point, is because anyway, sort of they're all isomorphic. No matter which 3 cells you put the 3 5s in, you're going to sort of push 5s into these cells over here. And so you just do this count that you know that you have to put 2 5s in. And again, I know I can't put a 5 in either of these cells. It probably would have been much cleaner if I just looked at all of these 8 cells together. But the point is, at the end of the day, there's no room in these cells for anything other than 8s, 2 5s, and 2 7s. Because that's it. So these cells are all from 5, 7, 8, which is going to place a 6. Oops. Let's see. So that's the point, I think. So this is just a 6, I think, is what Tallcat wants us to see. What? It's not room for a 6. Yeah, there's not room for a 6. Can't put a 6 there. There's not room. Oh, it's because that 5 is there. Dagnammit, that 5 is there. I was counting that. I didn't notice this was a 5. Because of this this 5 here. Because what I'm really counting is I'm really counting the number of digits that end up in these cells, but I'm just noticing as I'm doing this, noting that these cells I know are not 5s, 7s, or 8s. But unfortunately, that cell is a 5. So the way Tallcat wants me to see this, which I think is more complicated, but I don't know, is that because there's 3 5s, either there's 5s in both of these or there's 5s in both of these. And so there's either a 5 in here or a 5 in here. And likewise with 7s. And so therefore these cells are from 5, 7, 8, which honestly feels even less motivated as a step. But I agree with it. That we can actually do that and get that these are from 5, 7, 8. Let's see. Now, what does that do is the question. Let's see. I like the sound of Vish's point. So let me try and unpack this. So Vish is saying you can't put 3 in blue in box 5. And presumably that has something to do with the fact that if you put a 3 in blue in box 5, then you have to put exactly 1 3 in these cells. Something like that. But I don't quite see why that's broken yet. If there's 3s in blue, then there's 2 in the corner. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So, right. We said earlier, so it's the 3s thing. So remember we said there's definitely 2 3s in the corner. If there's 3s in blue at all. So if there are 3s in blue at all, then there's 2 3s in these cells. And hence there are 2 3s in these cells. One of which is here, of course. But these aren't 3. And so that's my third 3. And so if there is a 3 in blue, we've got all of our 3s in blue before putting 3 in blue in here. If there's no 3s in blue, then of course we don't put 3 in blue in here. So these are always a 3-9 pair, is what Vish has said. And so that, I think, is probably going to do a lot of damage, because now this can't be a 3, so this can't be a 6, which makes those an honest 2-4 pair, which makes that up there a 6. Let's see. That is the 2-4 that doesn't go there. Sure. If this is a 2-4, I don't even know if it's that 2-4 or not. All right, these have become a 6-8 pair now, because we know there's a 6 in one of those. Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, 6 is no longer there, so we get that. So now every digit left here is odd for whatever reason. It's a 6-8 pair because we had 6 and 8 corner marked in these 3 cells, Fish. And once this became not a 6, then these became a 6-8 pair. So these are 1, 3, 5, and we know that one's not a 1. So yeah, so how many 6s are in the Fistamafel ring? Now is probably going to help us. 3 6s in the ring, 1 not in blue, because we've got a 6 in the middle, right? So that's saying that one of these two is a 6. And so because we've got a 6 in box 5, so we need to sort of balance it out. So basically, we need our 6 to now be in one of these 2 cells, so these two aren't 6, and so these 2 aren't 3. And they aren't 3 in the center either. And so now we have Selena's point that now the number of 3s in blue is even. Because now any 3 I want to place in blue on the ring is going to duplicate the 3 elsewhere because of this sort of middle piece. I no longer can sort of avoid that. So if the number of 3s in blue is even, that means it's 0. And so there are no 3s anywhere in blue, for whatever that is worth. So that means this black dot over here is not 3, 6. And so there's no 6 there. There definitely is a 4 here in one of these 2 cells, for what that's worth. Let's see. And I know, like, there's a 3 in one of these 3 cells and a 3 in one of these 3 cells. I've got to sort of figure out where it's useful. 3 in one of these 2 cells. 3, 2 there looks potentially bad, but I'm not sure. 3 in row 2. There we go. That's the place to find the 3. 3 in row 2 has to go there now. So that is not a 3. And this is now a 2, sorry, now a 3 or 5. row 8, column 3. So this digit is now a 2, 4, or 6, but it can't be a 4 and it can't be a 6. So this is only a 2, which makes that only a 1, which makes that a 4 and a 2, makes that an 8 and a 4. Let's see. It's not an 8. Those aren't 8. That is not 2. It's not 2. That's not 1. That seems to not be 1 anymore. The 3 in this box now we know is here with a 9, owing to that combination. And so that places the 3 in this box here, which makes that a 5 and a 3, which makes that the 5. Is the 1 or the 4. I think I was supposed to remember which one it was. I think it's supposed to be the one that either is or isn't in white or something, or is or isn't in blue, or who knows what. Something like that. But I don't remember anymore. Let's see. So that tells me that this is a 3. So this is a 2 or a 4. So this is not a 2-4 black dot at the very least. It could still be a 1-2 black dot, I think. But this is a 3 as well, which unfortunately does not help with the 2-4. Just by sudoku. Oh, right. As soon as 3 is not in blue, 1's not in blue either. And so, therefore, that's a 1. There we go. That's the way to think about it. And so, therefore, this is not 2-4. It's 3-6. And so, the only way that works is as 6 and 3, which makes that 4 and 2. Because as soon as we knew 3 wasn't in white, or sorry, wasn't in blue, 1 wasn't in blue either. So, it was there. Okay. One of these two is a 3. Hey, Blackjack, how are you doing? Okay. So I probably should fill in, just dump pencil marks in these cells is probably the key. So yeah, if I do, then I'll realize that this is a naked 6. These are a 2-8 pair. This is the other 5 or 7, which gets us to Tallcat's point, which is that I've got a naked 6 here. Okay. So these digits are something. They're not 7 or 8. They are 1, 2, and 4, apparently. I know there's a 2 in blue down here, for what it's worth. If that's a 2, doesn't that break? I don't think so, unfortunately. Oh, if that's not a 2, it breaks, I think. If that's not a 2... No. I know where all the 2s are, right? Because I know these digits now. So I know one of these is a 2. If I actually fill in, they're 2, 6, 7, and something else. They're 2, 6, 7, and 4. So that means that we've got all of our 2s in blue. So this actually is a 4, is what that means. So that is a 1 and a 2. So more just spray pencil marks places. So this is not, in fact, neither of these is a 6 or an 8. In fact, that one's just not an 8 if you actually look at it because of the row. But these aren't 5, 7 because of the row, and they're not 6, 8 because of the row. So it's 1 or 4. And if you now look at that, it can't be a 1. So that's a 4 and a 5. with a 1 there, a 7 there, a 6 there. 7 and 5 go in. The author of Knight's Mate. Yes, that was a delight. That is definitely my favorite solve of the year so far. Let's see, 5, 8. So this is a naked single. Let's just figure out what it is. It's 2, which makes that a 4, makes that a 2. Let's see, these aren't 2 anymore. These aren't 4 anymore. Let's see, I think we're probably at the dump pencil marks and hope phase. So these are a 5, 7 pair, so that makes that an 8 and makes that a 4. Let's see, those are a 5, 7 pair in the row, which makes that a 6. Let's see, so that 5, 7 pair looks down and makes that a 9 and that a 7, which makes that a 5, an 8, and a 7. 2 and an 8. 4 there. 3, 9, 5, 7. There we go. This seems to just be a 9 if I look at what Sven is telling me. So it seems like those are 3 and 9, and I think now we can just dump in the rest of it. So there's a 5 and a 3. There is an 8 and a 5. 5 seems to be consecutive with a 6. That's an 8 and a 6. That's a 7 and an 8. 1 and 6. 7 and 2. 8 and 7. 4, 1 and 2. And we have completed this beast of a puzzle. I really enjoyed, and this seems to be a theme, like counting circle puzzles, I think really fall into a sort of chaos construction-y thing where I always really like the first half, and then the second half sort of turns into a grind of, say, every combination of what numbers you know are where until you can, like, it ends up having, like, the end part always ends up having a, like, where is the 1 in purple kind of feel to it. But I really like the idea here, and I really like the very systematic way that these are put together. So overall, I really liked this puzzle, modulo my usual criticism of the genre as a whole, that sort of like once you've done all the fun parts, you still have more puzzle left. And like usually like it amounts to you still have a lot more puzzle left, which yeah, it becomes an exercise in note taking, as Tallcat said. But I really like the setup, and the white dot combination with it was really cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed everything except the Sudoku accounting part. But you just can't make a counting circle puzzle without a Sudoku accounting part at the end. That is just how the genre works. So yeah, so I quite enjoyed that. That was a neat execution of this idea. Alrighty. Maybe you just put a fog of war piece where you just like have the deduction that's the last fun deduction, and then the fog of war pulls back and fills in the rest of it for you. Like you just have like 2 gray givens as fog of war and nothing else, just to sort of resolve everything. Alrighty, I am going to take a quick break. I guess the problem with that is you wouldn't know whether there were counting circles. I guess with this, you would know whether there were counting circles behind the fog or not. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break, stretch, and I'll be back with another puzzle in just a moment. So see you all shortly. All right, welcome back. So we have a Naverio Yuban next, which is fun because Naverio despises Yuban. So therefore, I am going to enjoy seeing what Naverio has done with Yuban. It's possible, like myself, Naverio has slowly come around on Yuban. I keep doing Yuban because I feel like there's potential there. I mean, really, Selena, basically, I've just done enough Yuban off stream that I feel like I can talk about Yuban on stream in a way that at least I think is coherent enough. Like, it really took me doing a lot of off stream Yuban before I felt like I could do it. I mean, it's not like I could do like arrow puzzles on stream if I hadn't done like a bunch of arrow puzzles off stream. So it sort of makes sense, but it's a very tech heavy genre where like the people who make Yuban puzzles by and large know a lot about Yuban as it happens. Okay, so first of all, what is the solution going to look like? And so the solution here is kind of like a loop, except in this case, it's a loop network. So that would be a loop. But here we're allowed to do loop network stuff like this. And therefore, you have these sorts of things. I just meant on stream. Like, there's no way I could do a 4-star arrow puzzle on stream and sound semi-intelligible if I hadn't done a bunch of them off stream beforehand, Memerister. Chat would be trying to explain to me the like sum the circles and minimum 15 thing, and I would be like, what are you talking about? How am I doing this? Whatever. Anyway, so this is what is meant by a loop network. In particular, the one restriction is I cannot do that. And that's because there's a dead end. The loop network is not allowed to have a dead end. Okay. Now, the clues outside the grid describe what pieces appear in that row. So, for example, this says there are no T's. And note when it says T here, it could be any shape of T that's sort of this or rotated in some other way. You have complete information where given for a particular piece. So there's exactly 0 T's, but you have no given information on these. We do puzzles with novel rule sets on stream all the time, but the thing about a puzzle with a novel rule set is that a puzzle with a novel rule set is designed to be done by someone who has no experience with the rule set. Yuban is not designed to be done by someone with no experience with the rule set. I think there are essentially no Yuban puzzles that are designed to be done by people with no knowledge of the rule set. Although I will say KNTs definitely come closest. Even KNTs, like 4 and 5-star Yubans, I think I've done them off stream without dying. Even without sort of having all the things. Even Woofer and Jacob's 2-star Yubans, I usually cannot successfully do off stream because I still can't find whatever tech is intended. So we have this. You imagine the very first Yuban puzzle is probably designed to be done someone with no knowledge of the rule set, but you never know with Yuban. Yeah, it's possible someone did not publish any Yuban puzzles until they had done 25 of them. Yeah, if the cell is empty, it's just not counted. My favorite KNT Yuban series is KNT has a Yuban series where there's actually a fifth clue type for the number of empty cells. But here, yeah, you're allowed as many empty cells as you would like, provided that you meet the other clues. Okay, so that's standard Yuban. This is standard Yuban plus the buddy rule. Every single network cell, so not counting empty cells, must have at least one orthogonally adjacent cell that has the same shape. Okay, and it notes the same shape doesn't mean it has to have the same rotation, but has to have the same shape. Okay. So that is interesting. And so we have to keep that in mind when we're thinking about what happens. So this last row here, what this is calling row 14, although most things would not call it that, is telling us that we have no T's and 5 horizontal pieces. And so if you think about that, that's sort of telling you we know every piece that includes this segment, this sort of half segment in each direction. And there are 5 of them exactly. And so you could have that with sort of an end cap, and then 5 straight pieces in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, which would be really nice. But also you could have it sort of split up to where you'd have, say, 2, and then 3 of them like that. And now I'm noticing that whatever the corners are that end our segments here, then we have to be careful because the corner is going to immediately turn into another corner. Hey, Naverio, how are you doing? We have no lines here. So here we again have total information about the number of sort of horizontals that we have here. And so that is also very interesting. Let's see. So the most interesting things to look at are rows that are on the ends. So these rows and columns that are on the ends, I should say. 4 ways anywhere they show up, because 4 ways are incredibly restrictive on what they sort of tend to force. And rows or columns where you have near complete information. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for example, here, the only thing we don't know is how many 4 ways there are in this column, for example. Okay. So Emma points out this cell is not a corner or a T by sort of combining the row and column clue. So it's either a straight line or it's nothing. Places where zeros intersect are also often very interesting. This cell is not a 0 or a T either. So that is interesting. So if this is anything, it's a corner. Yes. The number of L's and T's is also very interesting because so here's what's special about L's. Anytime you have an L, it of necessity starts a horizontal segment or ends a horizontal segment if you want. And so a very interesting thing is that every row has some number of horizontal segments, and that number of horizontal segments has an even number of ends. So notice this one has 2 ends. Right. So if you put all of them together, you get an even number. Now, L's aren't the only way that something can end. And thing can also end in a T, but the T has to be a special kind of T, which has to run orthogonal to the direction of the row or column. And so you always have an even number total of L's plus T's that are orthogonal to the column. And so, for example, this row we know has it has 2 total horizontal segments. One of which is double-ended by corners, and one of which is ended by a corner and a T, for example. Okay. So the thing that we can say here, if this is not a corner or a T, is it definitely doesn't go this way. So we can put an X here. Okay, and likewise... Oh, I thought I had somewhere else like that, but maybe not. I think this is the only 0 of corners that I have. So if this is a straight line, then this is a straight line. Otherwise, this is a nothing, and then that's a nothing. Oh, no, this could be, sorry, this could be a straight line, and that could be the thing that's adjacent to it. It doesn't have to be a straight line sort of connecting to it immediately. Yes, so this column, Nell points out, we know has exactly one vertical stretch that we can deal with. Can't be straight by the column. Why can't it be straight from the column? I don't have any clues about straights in this column. But we know we've got oh, that one. Okay. So if this is a straight, that can't be a straight. And so if this is a straight, its buddy is that one. Yes, I agree with that assessment. Now, a thing to note about four ways is they always force a vertical and horizontal segment. So we can contemplate the consequences and nature of that as well. So if this is a straight line, that's a straight line. And if this is not a straight line, then it breaks that. Yes. Okay, so, right. So that is a very good spot from Martin. So there's no T's here. Yet I know that dangling down into this column are two pluses. And so every plus that has a downward pointing thing, it has to catch them. And so the question is, could there be two corners only down here? And so you could picture something like, oh, I'm going to have my two corners, and they're both going to immediately run into a plus. But that doesn't work because the corners need to be adjacent to a corner. And so that corner can't be above it if the thing it turns into is a plus. And so we actually now have complete information on this row because we now know that there have to be four corners. There have to be an even number of corners in a row on the edge of the grid. And that number can't be 6 because there's only 10 cells total. And so probably what's going to happen is we're going to have our sort of 2 in the middle. Anyway, that means that this is definitely part of the network. Because if that's out of the network, it also makes that be part of the network. And this is also part of the network, because otherwise that would be out of the network and I wouldn't have enough cells. But now I know what this is because of our previous note that this, therefore, is a straight line. So it's done. And this is also a straight line because of the fact that it needs to do the thing here. We can have Zach come in for a line dance. Ba-boop-a-doop. Woo! Ba-doop-a-doop. Wah! Ba-doop-a-doop. Wee! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So we get to say that this is a corner, and so that corner needs to go with it. So we know all of this. So, okay, so we've got our thing there. We know that those are in. Okay, so yeah, this could maybe plausibly be the four-way. This isn't a straight. This is not a straight. And so if it's not a straight and it's not a T, that means that this is a corner. and it's done. And this cannot be a corner, because if this is a corner, then the loop network is not connected. I guess I did not say that. Sorry, I did not say that when I explained the rules. There's only one loop network. So this can't be a corner. This must grow at least in one direction or the other. I think it's probably a plus, although I'm not sure that I know for sure that it's a plus and not a T. Yeah, so this corner's buddy, we know where it is. We'll just go with that. This corner's buddy has to be this one, because that one, as I said, is not a corner. These are both part of the loop network. If this is either a straight line or a corner, and if you think about it, what's left in this row is straight lines and one more corner, because we've got 3 of our corners already. So this is 4 straight lines in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a corner. So all of these are done. And that's just a nothing. That is in. Okay, that was very nice. Okay, so we can't put we can't put our 4-ways in any of these cells, right? A 4-way would pierce down into this complete thing. Basically, the way you should think about it is a cell that is green is done, and so there's effectively a virtual X looking at it, but we just, for clarity's sake, don't just put a million DXs in the grid. That's why we have the is in the loop network, is not in the loop network, is done system. But like this has to be a corner is Martin's point, because this needs to have a buddy. And so this doesn't go up. Okay, and so I now actually know this isn't a 4-way, and so actually none of these cells can be 4-ways, and so the only 2 places I can have 4-ways are these. So we can mark that like that. And we are done with these and that. I'll just sort of mark those as being done-ish. Okay, this row has no straight line, so this doesn't go only up for what it is worth. Okay, that corner sees that corner. I wonder if I should be giving each of these things a color so that I can more visibly see what things they are. Like I don't normally do this, but maybe I should actually like say like 4-ways are red and mark these as red. T's can be orange. Straight lines can be yellow. And corner can be purple, and then marking these like this. And so say these are actually purple. These are yellow. These are purple. And so I actually know, for example, I know this is purple over here. That's probably not a bad idea for purposes of trying to track scanning this. Oh, and that's all of the purples for this column, by the way. So there are no more purples in this column. I'll purple that to mark that appropriately. Okay, so I'm done with those and those and those, of course. I'm done with my 2 4-ways here. Column 3, we're done with straight, so we don't get any more of those. Let's see, there are no straights at all in this column, for what it's worth, but there are 4 T's. All the T's. Blue is just mentally for my brain to say, hey, there's track here. And sometimes I know there's track before I actually have a green line there. Like I might know that that's track, but not know any segments of it. But that's all that blue is doing, is just a mark that this is definitely part of the network. Let's see. So yeah, so we've got 4 pokey bits into this column. So there's 4 places. Oh, sorry, no, there's 6 places at least. Yeah, I guess here's another observation. This number is even, so it's 2 or 4. It can't be as high as 6 because that's not in the loop network at all. Wait a minute. This can't be 2, can it? How is this... How is the top corner in this column getting a buddy? Because the top corner in this column has to get a buddy. It can't... Oh, no. Okay, so this has to be a 4. Right, this has to be a 4. If this is a 2, then there's a top corner in this column that just is never getting a buddy, because it can't get its buddy from this column. Because there's some oranges in between. So this is a 4, and what the top of this column looks like is 3 purples in a row. So this column... Yeah, so that cell's gray is the upshot of this. This column has 3 purples in a row at the top. And so... oh, I don't know that's gray. But this column is a string of 8 consecutive cells that go corner, T, corner, corner, corner. Okay, so these are all in the loop network. These are both corners either way. And this is either a corner or a T. So these are all T's either way, whether that or not. And so we can sort of draw in the T's. Oops. Like that. So these are all part of the network. Can't be row 1 through row 8. Because I don't think I know why. I do know actually that and that, just because of the fact that they're corners. I mean, I guess I actually know that these do that as well, regardless. Oh, the bottom's buddy is the next column. Right. So if this were purple, then this would be gray, and this is not purple because of this column. So yeah, so this does have to be purple. So this is orange. Got it. And so now this is the other purple. Sorry, blue can go away. This is now out of the picture, and we can sort of draw in what this has to look like in order to make that happen. Okay. This we know doesn't go only up. That's the language that I like to use. So this doesn't go only up, so this always extends to the right. Because of... it's got to extend some way. It can't dead end. And so this always extends to the right. Right. I didn't actually draw in my corner. Thank you. Okay, and this is done. So this is anything. It's a corner. Got it. Okay. Right. This is the row where we know, because of this, the T in this row is orthogonal to the row. I'm still experimenting with all the different ways to say that to try and find one that feels natural to my tongue, but that one doesn't quite. But this row only has one T, and that T runs... Oh, in fact, it's even better. We have the T. So I don't even have to argue that that's not the shape the T is. But we did already say the T in this goes vertically, as Selena says, not horizontally. So this is just done, and it's a straight line. So it's yellow. Okay, and so this is not a T, and it's not yellow either. So this is not yellow or a T. That means it's a 4-way, right? Oh, or a corner. So this is either a corner or a 4-way. Those are the two options. Oh, Oh, but in particular, this one isn't yellow. And so by the column, and so this yellow needs a buddy, and so the buddy goes here, which means this is yellow, which means we know what it does. So we've got that. Okay. Now. A 1 looks in the row and the column. Ah! That's really clever. It can't be a 4-way. Great spot, by the way. Martin was the one who at least said this so that I could understand it. If this were red, it would need to have a red next to it, and the red next to it would have to be in the same row or the same column, and it can't be either because of these two 1s. That's very clever. So this is officially not a 4-way, not a 3-way, and not a line. So this is a corner. And it is the only corner in the column. And so it doesn't go down, because if it went down, it would make this a corner, which would not, then it wouldn't be the only corner in the column. So this is in fact nothing, because if this was anything, it was going to be a corner. So this turns up. Okay, and now this thing, well, it's not a corner, so the corner buddy is here. And we know that one of the ways the corner buddy works is that. This is a really fun puzzle. I quite like this. So this definitely extends that way. This isn't a T, but I don't think that quite tells me anything immediately. It's super not a T, because it's not a T by the column or by... oh, sorry. This one's a corner. Sorry. Okay. So this is a T or a plus. Let's see. This can't go only up, and it can't go only down. Oh, sorry. This just can't be in the network at all. Sorry. If this is in the network, I think this is what Selena was pointing out, that Emma was pointing out. If this was in the network at all, it would be a corner, and we already have both corners in the row. So this doesn't do that. Okay, and this can't go only down, because if it goes only down, then it becomes a corner. So this definitely extends to the right. There we go. Definitely extends to the right, pulling this into the network. You were looking at the bottom. This cell? Row 6. This one. Aha. Yes, this can't go only up. Got it. Okay, yeah. So this goes right. Yes, I agree. Yes, this again can't be a corner, so it's again out of the thing entirely. So we're slowly merging towards not having any spot for the T's, but we aren't quite there yet. Or sorry, for the straight lines. Oh, this isn't a straight line. Okay, that's very interesting. This not being a straight line means the only 4 spots for my straight lines are these. Which I think means this cell has to be a straight line, because if this cell isn't a straight line... Oh, maybe it has to have at least those? I don't know. We'll think about that later. That's probably not the natural thing to think about now. This cell can't go only down because of the corner thing again. So it always goes right. There we go. Oh, and this can't be a line either. So this is a T, which are orange. And that is in the loop network. And this isn't orange, for what it's worth. So one of these all is orange. Oh, that's not orange either. Actually, sorry. Both of these, Fish points out, are not orange by the clue. So that's the one that's its buddy. So this also extends down. And so now this has to be either a T or a four-way. Oh, it's not a T. So this is a four-way because this has to grow and it's not a T. It has to grow because it's not a corner. So this is a four-way. There we go. So we can fill that in. Okay. Let's see. This is... yes. This is a naked four-way, as is being pointed out, because it's not yellow or purple or orange. I can even actually orange the 0, I suppose, just for my sanity. If I yellow that, purple that, orange that, and yellow that. Maybe that'll make my life easier. And in fact, in this case, we've done all of them orange. No, not orange. Purple. Orange. Okay, so this is the cell that is a naked red. There we go. Okay, there we go. Naked four-ways are the most fun kind of four-ways? Probably. Okay, so that's all the reds for this column. So this thing is... not a... Oh, right. Everything else in this column is orange now, right? Because we know, as Vish points out, we know we've got everything of everything else. So these are all orange. Okay. Let's see. Do I know anything more about any of these other things? Let's see. Do I know anything about this row? Not yet, I don't think. Let's see. There's only 2 purples in this column, and we already have one of those purples. Which means this doesn't go only up. Because if this went only up, then it would create 3 purples. But there are 2 other directions it could go. So knowing it doesn't go only up is not as useful as it could in theory be. Okay, let's see. There's only 3 oranges in total, and this is not orange. Okay, this is not orange. Oh, okay, so we know what color this is, right? Because I just said this doesn't go only up. Oh, no, it could still be a corner and go down. But this is not a 3-way. So this could be a 4-way, I think. Or a corner. So this always goes down, is the point. This always goes down. No, that's not true. It could still be a line extending to the right. Never mind. Oh, this orange needs a buddy, and that buddy can't be here because of this column, so that buddy is there. Agree with that. Because there's 0 oranges in this column, Vish. Oh, row 4, column 2. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, row 4, column 2. It could be row 4, column 2. Sorry, right. One of these 2 is a 3-way. I don't know which. Or both, possibly. Could be both. Let's see. Actually, thinking about this column is interesting because we've got a similar problem where there's 0 purples, and the purples have to be next to purples. So I think this is going to force a similar conflagration in order to fit in this one orange three-way, is that I'm going to have an orange three-way followed by 3 corners on top. And now it could be that's where this configuration starts. Or if it's above that, then I need to have 3 more. So I could still do something like that kind of real nonsense. But yeah, I'm going to have a string of, at the very least, corner, tri-way, triple corner in this. So that's 5 cells in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are always in the loop network. And I think this is always a corner in that, actually, isn't it? If this isn't a corner, then I just can't do stuff with corners, right? And I think that's going to be huge because it's going to tell me about this row. But I think this is always a corner in my triple corner business. Oh, no, it could be a T. It could be the T. I could go triple corner T, right? Darn it. Yeah, triple corner T, triple corner would work. Darn it. But still, these are at least in the loop network, so that's something. And so that means there's a bunch of cells here, though, because every cell... Oh, no, I don't know that there's no horizontals. There's some number of horizontals in there, too, potentially. But there's a bunch of cells that are sort of getting hit into this column in some way, shape, or form. Oh, let's see. Martin says if this is a corner, then this needs to be a corner as well, because that can't be, because there's only 2 corners in the column. To go corner, corner, and that would then break the straights in the row, because then we'd have to go corner, straight, 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 corner, and that would break because of that. Right. So yeah, so if this goes corner, corner, then I don't have room for 3 straights because that can't be a straight, right? So this is not a corner. So that means all of these are yellow now, because these are now the only places that can be corners. Or sorry, the only places that can be straights in this row. Which fills in all of that. This isn't a straight, so it must be a T. And then these must be just corners. So we can sort of peel down those and fill in all of that. Okay, so this is a corner as well, because of needing a buddy for this. This is a straight line, because of needing a buddy for it. This is a corner because it needs a buddy. And this is orange because it needs a buddy. And that's all the oranges for the row, so there are no more T's in the row. And so this thing is now either a straight line or a corner. Those are the only options. I don't think I know which one, though, because I don't think I have any information about that. Oh, if this is a straight line, I know what it does, by the way. It just has to be that straight line. If I make this not a corner, do I still have room? Yes, I do. If I make this not a corner, I still have just enough room to squeeze this in, although this probably is a corner in my mind, at least. Let's see. This is not a straight line. Oh, well. Oh, okay. So this cell is not a straight line, and it's not a 3-way, and it's not a 4-way. So if this is anything, it's a corner. I don't really see anything saucy about that, if I'm honest. let's see. Yeah, there are no more straight lines here. Because, yeah, this is going to extend either this way or this way. Those are the two options. I have shown you the two ways to make a three-way. If it extends this way, this is a corner. If it extends this way, something. Selena says, please notice me. Oh, have I, like, completely missed this comment about row 8 for forever? Row 8 has exactly 2 horizontal segments, 1 T and 3 Ls. And the second segment has to extend all the way to column 8 because row 8, column 8 isn't yellow. Yes. So, right. So this, yeah, okay. So this is not a straight line. So it's definitely part of the horizontal piece. And so because of that, we know actually all of these contain at least the horizontal piece, is Selena's point. This has to be a 4-way, actually, because it's currently a 3-way and it's not a 3-way. So this at least is red, which makes that go up there. This is not a 3-way. So this is a 4-way or a corner. 7. Yeah, I can yellow that. Let's see. This can be a straight. Yeah, I think I missed that option when I was looking at this. Red X done in... Oh, sorry, row 12. Sorry, I kept looking at row 1, 2. Row 12. So, yeah, so these are not X's. So this is not an X, and so therefore, yeah. So once I realized that, yes, that is red. This can't be red or yellow or orange, so it is purple. This cell isn't red or orange, so it's yellow, actually. Given that. And now we're done with purples in this row. And this cell is not... This cell is yellow because it's not any of the other things. And this cell can't be yellow, so it can't be anything. And this cell now just can't be anything. And now, yeah, now we've got this stretch where we know what this looks like now, because now it's got to be purple, 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 orange, which is funny by our previous work. There we go. This is a corner. That's a corner. That's a corner. All of this is in. So we've got all of that. Yeah, this orange needs a buddy. So it's there. this can't go only up because I'm done with purples in the column. So this always extends left for what it's worth. This can't extend only left because I'm done with straight lines in the column. So this always extends up. Oh, this purple needs a buddy. Excellent. This can't be orange, hilariously, because if this were orange, it would need a buddy. That would be the buddy, but now there would be 3 oranges in the column. So this isn't orange, it is yellow. And that needs a buddy, so that's yellow. We can fill in what the yellow looks like. I know that this cell is orange or red, for what it's worth. This can't only go up, so now it must go left. Regardless. And this can't only go down, so it must go left. Like that. This can't only go left because of that yellow, so this must come this way. Oh, wait, I think I cheated there. Sorry. I cheated because I assumed this was done, but it wasn't done. This is done. So that part was correct. This does have to go here. And be yellow. Or sorry, this does have to go here because it can't only turn down. But there, this could turn up. That was the... because this orange isn't done. I just know what color it is. Yeah, somehow, I've lost the, like, is this done or not, other than by learning what the colors are. This is not orange. And so it is yellow. Good. It's not orange because the row has 0 of those things in it. And so now we know what this orange looks like. Like that. And so now this is just a completed orange because it can't extend down. There's my 2 oranges for the column, and the column is done. Row 9 / row 13. We can finish row 13, I'm being told. Yes, this is between 2 yellows. Got it. So it must extend and hence be yellow. And now, likewise, this is stuck between 2 yellows, so it must extend and be yellow. And now this must turn up like that and be purple. Good spot to Nicholas. So we've got all of that piece done. I know that this is orange or red. Those are the 2 options. That is all of the purples in the column, too. Very good. So we've now got both of them. So now this can't only turn this way. It has to at least go that way. And in fact, it can only go that way because there's no corners in the column. So this is always yellow. Same argument. This can't only go down, so it always extends right. But also it can't be a T because of the column, so it must be yellow as well. Let's see. Or just, you could have just said this needed a buddy. That would have also worked. Okay. This column needs 2 yellows. Yeah, there is a row with 4 L's. We don't have a lot of L's yet. I know that isn't an L in particular. So 3 of these 4 cells are L's. Oh, and it's not that one. There we go. 3 of these 3 cells are L's, is what we have actually concluded. That's not an L because the network would cease to be connected. I've said the word connected more times in this puzzle than I have in all other Yuban puzzles combined. But these all have to be L's because of that that clue. And now we've got all the L's here because that can't be an L anymore. Need 2 yellows. We've got 1 yellow. That's not going to be a yellow. That could be a yellow. Oh, that's not going to be... Oh, that could be a yellow. Yes. Okay, so yeah, so the this is being pointed out needs to be vertical because if it's horizontal, then wait, couldn't this be horizontal and this be yellow and then it end there? I think that would be okay in terms of the parity of stuff. There's still one more corner in here. Where's the X in column 9? Well, it's not there. So this is always blue because of the X in column 9. Actually, one of these two is the X in column 9. So in fact, these two have a vertical connection between them. And if this is the one that's red, that's not the buddy. So that's the buddy. If this is the one that's red, I don't think I know anything anymore. Yeah, this is missing an edge, but it could go left or could go up. It's got to connect somehow, but I don't know how yet. Let's see, we're at 3 of 5 yellows in this column for whatever it's worth. And if this is in, it's orange for whatever that is worth. If this is in, it's purple for whatever it's worth. This is not orange and it's not yellow. So this cell is red or purple. Is one of those a problem somehow? I don't know. Row 8, column 7. 3. Oh, it's that one. Yes, if this was yellow, that is, if it went only up, it would be a problem because that couldn't also be yellow, is Emma's point. And so this isn't yellow. So it doesn't go only up. It always at least goes left, is the conclusion of that. So this can be a T or a... Actually, can this even be a T? If this is a T, then this is a T. Or it could just be purple, which would be fine. T, that's a T. Yeah, that would just create like a little thingy in the network. That looks okay to me as far as I can tell. Oh, this T is done, by the way. Let's see, I still need 4 T's in this row. I need 1 more yellow in this row. Ah, I know where the 1 more yellow in this row goes. Because that's not yellow anymore. So the 1 yellow in this row goes here, right? I believe that is true. By counting. Oh, it could be column 2. Never mind. Sorry, it could be column 2. Yep, could be there. Never mind. Sorry. You're right. Could be there. I do need 2 more yellows in these cells. And this cell can still be yellow because this orange, I don't know which way it goes yet. This is definitely not a corner. Is there anything I can rule out? Can't we make as many segment ends as we want by using more T's in column? Oh, that's column 3. Column 4, the actual column 4. Yes, there are no more ways to. So what Selena is saying is, if I drew in that, for example, now I need an end, and the only ends available are T's and corners, and we've got all of them. So we can actually sort of draw in X's like that. Which sort of indicate that if anything is in this column at all, it's yellow. Basically, is what this is saying. In any of the, and at least in these two, at least in these, actually, yeah, all 4 of these cells, if they're in, they're yellow, and otherwise they're not. So yeah, so the red buddy in this column is 1 column to the right, just based on this being a 1 and none of these being able to be 4 ways. Yeah, so 1 of these is red, so 1 of these is red. And whichever of these is red, again, forces a vertical piece similarly to that because of that. Now that we've got that. If this is out, all of these would be T's. And some yellow doesn't have a buddy. I'm trying to find the yellow that doesn't have a buddy. Okay, column 4. So if this is out, this is assuredly out. This would be a yellow. So yeah, I see the issue. So as soon as wait, this cell can be yellow, can't it? I'm looking at sort of like what happens in terms of there's exactly two more yellows in this column. And so they both need buddies, and so they could be each other's buddies, or it could be like that's yellow and those are both yellow. That breaks row 10's T in column 7. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So this T needs to grab two more places. So yeah. So what happens is basically if this is out, it forces all of these to be out, which breaks this T because now this T has two outs next to it. So this is not out. It is in. Oh, and so it's orange as soon as it's in. We know it's a T. This row needs 4 total T's. We've got 3 of them so far. Uh-huh. Is that true, Matt Laffey? Yeah, that was a pretty messy look ahead, I thought, Selena. I was trying to articulate it in a way that was just about how the yellows in this column were, because I felt like we were like very close to being able to say something coherent about these yellows. Uh, uh, but I couldn't quite get there, but I felt like I felt like there was very close to something there. Uh, so yeah, the world where this is orange, we sort of have this cascade of orange, orange, orange. Uh, oh, sorry to hear that, Shrimmy. Those are horrible. Yeah, the two reds do feel like the thing we're supposed to think about because we know either both of those are red or both of those are red. So it's a very sensible thing for us to think about. Uh, This isn't a T, so it's either purple or yellow, but I don't see how. Row 7, column 4 is out. Two reds aren't in row 4. Yeah, I know the number of horizontal T's in this column is odd, but that's one of them. So we either have 0, 2, or 4 more horizontal T's. In fact, it must be 2 more horizontal T's, because the 2 more horizontal T's give us our 2 yellows that are in this column. So there's exactly 2 horizontal T's and 2 vertical T's. And the 2 horizontal T's give us 2 yellows here, and then the 2 grays over here. I don't quite see what to do with that, but yeah, I've been liking these puzzles more and more, Shroomy. 2 vertical T's need to be in the middle. Couldn't it be that one and that one? Okay, am I supposed to also count the number of T's that I have here? Maybe I'm supposed to count the number of segments leaving column 2 into column 3. Because basically what I've said is the vertical T's. Do I know it's not 4 vertical T's with 2 vertical T's going that way and 2 vertical T's going that way? Maybe it's actually possible that it's that. Yeah, I think it's not 4 vertical T's. I can guarantee you that. But there's always at least 2 edges coming left here, right? Oh, no, sorry. One of them was that one. I did mean not 4 horizontal. I won't ask what I actually said. I will just... This isn't a T, so it only goes this way or only goes that way. I'm trying to figure out if the fact that this only goes one way says anything about where the pluses are that Selena and I have been trying to think about. If this only goes this way, of course, that's not the plus. If this only goes this way, then this is purple, and I think this could be the plus. Oh. I think I've got it. Oh no, so I know for sure one of these two is yellow, I guess is the thing that I want to highlight, because one of these two is red, so one of these two is yellow. So I'm trying to like figure out that actually is enough to tell me, like, I know these aren't the two that are yellow, for example. So the only world where this is yellow, those are both yellow, I think. Oh, that's a good point from Selena. These two are the same color. So they could both be red or both be orange. One of those is true. If they were both orange, it would be the last orange for this row, for what it's worth. Uh, Naverio says my observation that one of these is straight is important. So if this one is straight, that one's straight. Oh, sorry, no. If this one's straight, that one's straight. Row 7, 8, column 3. Wait, isn't this row 7, 8, column 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I assume you mean this one. I think. Oh, yes. Okay, yes, that makes a lot of sense. Right. Got it. That is that is very clever. Yeah. So if there's not a point, if there's not a connection here, these are both orange, so they make every other connection, which would make those the two yellows. But we've noted those being the two yellows breaks that. So we have to have this piece in. That was I mean, that's a very fair step. That is just phrasing the question the right way is very, very important. Okay, so now this would be a corner if it were in, so it's not. And now if this is in, this is in. So this is always in because it's either, so this is always in is the point, because if this is in, that has to be in for buddy system. And if this is not in, these are both in because it's the only ones that are left. And so we get our sort of horizontal line coming across here. Hey, Sweet Blues, how are you doing? This is done. Let's see. This is yellow or orange. I don't think I know yet which one it is. Everyone say bless you to Tristan. Let's see. I either got that or got that. So now, if these are both red, it's going to do untoward things to row 7, I am being told. I do know that this is purple or gray, and this is purple or gray, or orange, I suppose. This can't be a T anymore, because it breaks column 9. This is orange, that's orange. And then in this column, that would have to be purple. What's wrong with orange, orange, purple? Traps red in row 7. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, there we go. So this needs to connect somewhere. And so it either connects here or it connects there. Uh, but it can't do that if these are both red, because if these are both red, then neither of these goes down, because a corner either goes down or up, but not both. And so this, just because of the wall down here, it needs to connect to something. It's only going to connect up. So it is, again, connectivity. And so these can't both be red, so these are both red. Okay, very nice. So that lets us fill in some stuff. Like that. And this now has to be yellow, so that is nothing. So we get that over there. There is my one red. Right, this can't be a T or a four-way, so it's just done. It is a corner. Yes, we still need our two oranges, and so our two oranges are now... Wait, no. Sorry, our two... Right. Sorry, we need our second yellow. Our second yellow is now here because it's not there, sorry, is what Emma is saying. Once I have read this. Okay, so that is yellow. And so once that's yellow... that means this can't go only up, so this always connects that direction. Oh, also, this is just an orange three-way that I haven't actually said what the three ways are. That's the third way. So now this three-way is done. And so now this three-way has to do that. Now this three-way is done. And so now... yellow-orange looks okay, and red-orange looks okay to me. There's a purple next to a black. There is a purple next to a black. So this always goes this way because it has to go left or right. This is very good. And so now this can't extend this way. So now this goes that way. For sure. Because if this had a straight line in it, it would not be purple. This is a T or a plus. If this is a plus, this is also a plus. For whatever that is worth. That seems okay to me. Let's see. This yellow 2 is suspicious. Whether row 6, column 8... whether they're T's or pluses, you know where this goes. Yeah, so this always connects left, because if this is orange, then this is orange, and it's an orange that goes that way, and if it's a plus, it of course goes that way. So this always connects this way, and in fact always connects up. In both cases. That was a good observation. Row 4, 7, and 8. Uh, right, there needs to be a second corner, so I cannot connect these. Got it. Okay. Uh, I was originally thinking that the cross was making it so that we couldn't have too many corners, but the cross was making it so we couldn't have too few corners. Row 5, column 5 is a naked purple. It is not red. And if it is orange, it creates a problem for some reason that I don't fully know yet. Oh, if it's orange, the thing next to it is orange. And then that's too many oranges for the row. Right. So this is the argument earlier where I said that if something were there, its buddy would break the clue. That's exactly what's happening here. If this is orange, that's orange and it breaks the clue. So this isn't orange. So this just is purple. Very good. So now this purple has to go down and make another purple. Okay. Very good. Now, if this isn't purple, it's yellow because it still can't be orange for the same reason that we just used. Oh, but it can't be yellow. Because if this is yellow, its buddy would need to be here, and these can't both be yellow because they would crash into each other. So this can't be red. It can't be orange because the buddy would break it. And it can't be yellow, so this has to be purple, is, I believe, what I have convinced myself. And so it has to turn that way. Uh-oh. I think I broke it. No, I didn't. This purple just has to turn down. Which makes this a T. Which would better make this a T. And if this is a T, its additional direction had better be this one. Boy, the travelers who want to travel from this station to this station are going to be really unhappy. Let's see. Let's see. Row 5, column 7. Isn't yellow because it couldn't have a buddy. I agree. So it must be orange. And we know what its extra direction is, which is that one. That's the fourth orange in this row, so this is not orange, it's red. Which I believe means this is red, because otherwise it won't have a buddy. Which means they look like this. I would have called this puzzle buddy system if it were me, for what it's worth. Orange here. This now can't be a T, so it is yellow. And this now, it just is a T. So it is T. This orange needs a buddy, so it's that one. It's the only option. So this comes up here like that. This needs to be the corner because the row needs a second corner. So that's the corner, and we're done with the corners for this row. Let's see. We still need a second straight line in this column. It's probably here. The new corner needs a buddy. Very good, yes. So this buddy needs to turn and can only turn up. So that orange is done now, actually. That has been slightly maddening in this puzzle. I will be honest with you. Uh, it's especially bad for the ones where it's like row 6, column 8, and I'm not sure which indexing system is the correct index, or which indexing system is intended. And also, about half the time chat has been off by one in one dimension or the other from whichever thing they've done. So the indexing has been more insane making than usual. Uh okay. Let's see. So yeah, so one of these two is yellow. We could just average the two systems. Oh, this can't be yellow anymore. That's the point. Because that orange is done. So this is the yellow. Okay, so and now that's not yellow, so this is yellow because it needs a buddy. So we know what it looks like. And now these are both in, but they can both only be corners. And so I believe we have finished our network. Actually, I was afraid for these people down here, but these people down here actually can now commute fairly nicely over here. I thought these weren't going to be disconnected and someone was going to have to travel all the way around to the loop network to get there. Very nice. I liked that one a lot. Big fan of that. It definitely gets the heart. Yellow wins biggest omino. There was a very fun KNT Philomeno with a pretty similar rule to this, where you had to like make everything an omino, and so you couldn't let a 5 touch a 5 or whatever. That was a lot of fun. The Yuban Philomeno. Anyway, I'm going to take a stretch for a little bit, and I'll be back, and I will do more puzzles. So see you all in just a moment. All right, welcome back. We're going to do some slither linkage this time. So this is a Slither link with, at least for me, I first saw this rule set with a Fistamafel chaos construction. Yeah, I am terrible about breaking Yubans when I solve them by myself, Selena. It happens all the time that I like misread a clue or miscount something by one or whatever, and so on. So we need to draw a loop, and so the clues tell us how many of the vertices plus edges are visited. I had a puzzle with this rule set called Bounce, I seem to recall, that had a similar, or had this method of counting. It was a build your own killer, I think, with that kind of thing. I don't remember. So anyway, so we need to draw a single loop, no branching this time, and the clues all tell us how many of something there are. So we don't visit any of these, which means we don't visit that one, that one, that one, that one, that one either, or that one. Let's see. So so you could color edges and things separately. Yeah, I definitely can't visit, let's see, Nicholas points out I definitely can't visit that cell, or indeed I can't visit that edge. In fact, actually, I can't visit any edges at all around a 1. I guess that's a worthwhile thing to mark all over. If you visit an edge, you pick up 3 things. You can't even visit an edge around a 2, actually. So I should probably go ahead and do copious Xing for my 1s and 2s. Okay, I certainly can't come back here on the 3. And so I always end up here. I can't go there, so I can't go there. So I know what the 3 is. So we've got a line segment. We will bring out Zach for the line segment dance. In fact, actually, Zach believes that Big Zach can handle a line segment dance. We'll see if that turns out to be the case. Boop boop doop. Woo! Boop boop doop. Wah! Boop boop doop. Wee! Ba-doop boop 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 boop. Wah! Thank you, Big Zach. Thank you. By the way, it is a pure coincidence that his name is also Zach. In fact, his name is Zach with an H, Big Zach, as his friends call him. It is there are different penguins with similar names. Oops, I just put a random X somewhere. Let me undo quickly before doing that. Okay, so that goes that way because it's a corner. Okay, 7 is almost the maximum. So we have to visit every corner of the 7, right? I don't know that that's very interesting, but I think it's true. So we're either going to bounce there or bounce there. Yeah, so I have to visit this edge between the 2 7s because I only get to miss one thing. And if the thing I miss is this, then we get a mini loop, I believe is what chat is pointing out. Let's see. Yeah, and certainly, yeah, yeah, and above and below as well, because yeah, if I don't visit this edge, then I visit everything like this, but then I can't visit these at all. So I better visit this and visit this, and then we're going to end up with an S of some shape. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can X there while I'm at it. Yes, I have to visit this segment because if I don't, Garion points out, then I, in so doing, visit 5 vertices around the 4 because I hit the vertex, edge, vertex, edge, vertex. It would be 5. So I always visit that. let's see. This 4 is kind of interesting. Let's see if this 2 I need to visit 2 corners of. And as soon as I visit actually either corner, if I visit that corner or that corner, I've immediately visited 3 of the 4 things on the 4. But I could, of course, do this corner and this corner. Let's see. Yeah, the sort of the way this is going to bounce around the 1s is probably interesting. This 3, I cannot visit either of these edges because it will bounce off the 2. So that we know. Let's see. Do I have a similar issue anywhere else? Maybe not. Yes, I cannot put a line here. Let me show you. If I put a line here, now I lock out visiting either of these. And now, if I don't visit this segment, then I now am down for the count. But if I do visit the segment, I'm over. So I can't actually put that there because of what it does. So I have to do that. And now if I don't visit this, well, now I can't visit that. So now I have to visit that. This has to come over down here like that. Okay, and my 5 is currently, if you count it, at 4. So I can't visit that or that, which then forces me to visit this as the 5th one, which then forces this over. Let's see. Yeah, so the 6, right, the 6 is currently at 5. And so the only way I can make this work is to do that. I can't go up this side or I break the 4. Oh, in fact, the 4 is done if I count it. So there we go. So this comes over down here. Don't make a mini loop. Okay, I think now I die horribly if this comes down there, because I think then the 7 ends up. Maybe it's okay. Oh, this 6 can only go that way. For what it's worth. Let's see. Or an edge. Oh, right. This now can't go this way, because if this goes that way, now I've added 2. So in fact, yeah, this edge can't go down. This edge has to do that. And now the 3 is done. So now this can't turn, has to do that. And so now that's out. So this is forced to do this. Can't go up or I visit the 3 too many times. So I come down over here and end up hitting this. So I'm now obligated to either do this or this. So I always hit both of those, which then exhausts the 3. The 4 needs a corner, and it's certainly not this corner. So we end up with that, which then forces this over here like that. Very nice. Okay. Right, and this and this and this and this are now also forbidden. I should mark for myself. And of course that. And that. The 2 needs another corner, and there's only one it could be. Good, yes. There we go. The 2 has to do that, and this now can only connect this way. If this goes over this way, the 5 is now visited 4, and so I need to visit 1 more. So this would need to turn down, and I'd create a mini loop. So that was all my way of convincing you that this can't actually go over there, which means it goes there. So now I can't visit this edge, so I have to visit that corner and that corner. This 2 is now done. This can't close the loop, so it has to come up here, come over here, come over here, come over here, come over here. And in fact, come over here. So that is 2 for the 4. Okay, this can't close, so it has to do that, which finishes the 4, actually. And so this has to come down. This has to keep going over. Oh, and I can't visit either side of this because I would blow the 4, and now the 5 only has 5 available. So it's that 5. This 4 is at 3, so I can't add any more edges. Or I was thinking I couldn't do that, but maybe I can do that. Oh, this end can only go one direction. There we go. That's easier. Once I notice that end can only go that direction, now I assuredly cannot do this corner without creating all manner of problems. So I do that, which finishes the 4. This continues and bounces. That bounces right away. Don't close the loop again. Don't crash. Don't close the loop again. So I can't do that, at least. If I can't do that, then I at least do that and that. This is just... Oh, the 1 is done, so this can't come down because the 1 is done. So I can do that. So that forces that because of the 1. And the 4 is done, so that's X'd off, so this can't go up. So this now can only go this way. I can't go up or I end the world by accident, so this comes down. I don't want to end the world either by accident or on purpose. We're very picky about that. Let's see. Yeah, I know one of these corners gets hit. The 6 is interesting because I get to miss 2 things. And one of the things I miss is always an edge. I could miss 2 edges. Oh, I can't miss an edge in a vertex, can I? Yeah, I can't miss an edge in a vertex. There's no way that would work, because in order to miss a vertex, I have to miss both edges that are next to it, which would be missing 3 things. So I must miss 2 edges. And the 2 edges I miss, one of them is one of these 2. Let's see. I can't miss this edge, because if I miss this edge, I break the 4. So I need that edge, which means I definitely miss that edge. And now I hit this vertex, which means it's a corner. And now if I can... Well, this certainly... Oh, no, this could do that. That would be fine. This can't go right, because if this... Sorry, left. This can't go left, because if this goes left, this also goes left, and the 4 is like 80 million. Oh, that would be 7, right? That would be 7. Yes, I cannot do 7. So I actually have all of this forced, and I can't do any more with the 4, because the 4 is done. So this comes up here like that. This would close the loop, funnily enough, so I can't do that. This 1 is now done. Okay, and this still can't close the loop, so that comes over there. Okay, and now this needs to get out through here, because if it doesn't, it's going to careen into oblivion, basically. If I want, I can put a bunch of X's here to convince you that it will careen into oblivion. Uh-oh. Vish says, wait, did I do something wrong? This goes down, 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 and comes over there, so that kills this one. Okay. I don't think I can take this corner on this 4. If I take this corner on this 4, then I think whatever other corner I take for the 4 is, I think, going to be disastrous, because I'm either going to take this corner, which doesn't work, or take, well, this corner super doesn't work. Actually, maybe this corner is okay. Never mind. Maybe that's actually okay. Never mind. I think it's fine. I retract my claim that that didn't work. Okay. Wherever this end goes, it's either going to take that edge or that edge and finish the 3. So I'm never going to visit any of those cells. So we've got that. We're either coming down this way or going across that way. Oh, if I come across this way, do I end up closing the loop? Not immediately, although it doesn't look great, but it's possible. Okay, right. So this 6, remember, we've said 6s need to visit all 4 vertices, is the key thing. And so if I if I take this edge, I'm now obligated to do that to get my 4 finished, except now the 6 is broken, so I can't take that edge. So I can't take that edge either. I think this 4 is going to be one where we actually take the 4 corners. Right. If I don't visit this vertex, right, I've already sort of, what Vish is saying is I've already ruled out 2 edges in a vertex. And so that means I need to take 4 of the 5 remaining things. And so if I didn't take this, I wouldn't be able to. So I need to take this, which means I do that, which means I don't do that, which means I do this, which notice the thing I earlier said obviously didn't work. So I do that. I think if I connect these, I think it breaks. Because I can't, of course, take either of these. So then I end up taking that. Oh, no, that works. Never mind. Maybe it's okay. It didn't work in my brain for what it's worth. I think now I'm obligated to take the four corners of this, right? Oh, no, not quite, because I could still take, like, this edge or something. Let's see. I do need to bounce off one more corner of this too. For what it is worth. Welcome back, Selena. Okay, so I think this line is important, as I think what chat has been trying to convince me about, which is that this needs to get out of here somehow. One of which is that it's going to connect up there. But I think if I don't use this line, I think I just can't get this loop segment out of down here, which is going to cause a major loop counting problem, isn't it? Oh, maybe I could, like, wrap around this 6 and wrap up back over there? Maybe not. Maybe it's okay. That makes a mini loop. Oops. Sorry. What did I hit? Oh, right. I can't connect these two ends because then the loop is done. Right. So that doesn't work. So yeah, so I have to use this edge. Got it. Okay. Okay. So now if this comes over, right, if this comes over like this, the way I'm supposed to think about this is that now I've got these two ends which need to get out, but they both need to get out through this one choke point. That doesn't work. So that can't happen. This has to go down instead, which then means that that is now forbidden. Let's see. Right. They still can't connect because this is ultimately, we know this is the one end of this. So that bounces like that. So this bounces up. They still can't connect because I know this is where this is going. That makes sense. So this comes over here like that. This certainly goes up. Let's see. I definitely need to visit each of these vertices. I think if I connect to the bottom, I can't visit the top vertex, right? Oh, no, that's not true. I can do that. Never mind. My intuition for 6s is bad, apparently. The problem is if I don't connect the bottom. If I don't connect the bottom, then I end up doing this. The 6 is done. And now I end up with this continuing up like this continuing up like this, and this continuing up with like this. And that has some problems with being a loop. So I actually have to make that, which means I have to take that, which means I get to come over there like that. And now this needs to go over there because there's nowhere else to go. Okay. It's like this has to be resolvable because there's nothing else that could happen that could help me resolve it. So that was why I was sort of pushing there harder than I normally would at that point in a puzzle's life. Okay. 3 in row 12 needs a horizontal edge. Why can't I bring these both straight across? I do agree this this going down creates a disaster for the 3, because if this goes down, then now I certainly can't close this, but now this escapes under the 3. That definitely doesn't work. Put a different way, I know this end is claiming all of the vertices on the 3 because it's going to visit the 2 edges of the 3 or it's not getting out at all. So this one can't visit any because it's already done. In particular, this one can't go down there either, so it has to go across here. So that's not used, of course. And now I can't use any more edges of the 5, because if I use any more edges of the 5... Oh, sorry. It's almost true. I can't use that edge of the 5. I can't use that edge of the 5. I can use this edge of the 5 if I want. Oh, I certainly can't use this corner, though. So now I have to use that edge of the 5. And now this 3 looks like that. Did I cheat? It was because of the 3 clue. That was the that was the thing. Yeah, it would break the 3, right? And now the only way out for this loop is under the 3, to the tune of Little Mermaid. So we have that. So this now continues over here. So this continues over here. Again, I can't close the loop, so this continues over here. Okay, so I can't visit this vertex, because if I visit this vertex, I'll also visit an edge. I guess, yeah, that's the easiest way to say it, is I can't visit an edge of the 3. I have to visit these 2. And so now this bounces up like that. This certainly can't go that way, so it comes over this way. And so I now know I need to use those things. No edges for the 4. I assuredly have a problem if this goes down, right? I definitely enjoyed the edgeless 4 when I used this rule set. The one I did was a sudoku with circles and stuff, but same idea. Don't make a tiny loop. Yes. I cannot use that loop. There we go. Okay, yes. Got it. Yes, so that will make this much easier. Okay, and so now I can't take that, and so now I've omitted my 2, so I can come over here, and there we go. That is more Slitherlink. Why more? Is this rule set from Christopher Moore or something? I'm curious. But yeah, that was very fun. My brain finds this marginally more intuitive than regular Slitherlink, which I am very bad at. But this was very fun. The Moore's Neighborhood. Interesting. I've not heard of this. It's a term from Cellular Automata. Okay. Well, very cool. Yeah, I want to play around with this again at some point. I liked my puzzle that used this, although the ending for that ended up being a little bit messier than I intended it to be. Maybe I'll do something else with it. Alrighty, though, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back with some more puzzlage. So see you all in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone, to a Math Pesto coloring puzzle. So we have here regular Sudoku rules. We have Renban rules. So these lines here are a string of consecutive digits, but in some unspecified order. So they could be 1 through 6 or 4 through 9 or somewhere in between. And then we have our arrows where this circle digit is the sum of these two. And so I think it's a coloring puzzle because I think we're going to end up with 9 colors here pretty quickly. Because if you ask yourself where the yellow digits go in box 2, they can't repeat here. So they have to end up there, which means they also end up there. And so you see, for example, that this digit has to be that digit. But you get to sort of repeat this pattern along here, where that's green, and that's green, and that's blue, and that's blue. And so we can red X that cell, say. uh, to do that. But we can do this vertically and give each cell a unique address, so to speak. So we get to choose three new colors, like red, for example. In which case, then we get here, uh, and then we can make these. Say, let's see, we haven't used orange yet, and so those are orange, and those are orange. And then these can be whatever color we have not yet used, which seems to be, it's one of these. There's 6 total. Why can I not figure it out? Purple. It's purple. There we go. Okay, and so all 9 digits have a unique address, which is of the form like blue red, for example, is here, just as an example. Now, I will note that we do have some capacity here to do a little bit more using the roping with these, because, again, I know these digits go there. So that tells me that this digit, for example, has to go there, I think. I'm going to make this green circle. I don't know if this is red X or not. But because of the fact that these 3 digits go here, that tells me that this digit, yeah, and then go there. Green circle is one of these digits, and so green circle is that digit, which means green circle is that digit. That is what I am saying as I attempt to do this. I was trying to use the coloring without actually sort of having the roping coloring in mind. Okay. So green circle in box 5 rules it out of being red. Yes. That's beautiful. Yep. Okay, so green circle really isn't red X because green circle in box 5 is in one of these cells, and these 2 cells are along the red X arrow. Very good. Okay. And so green circle is its own creature. Do I know if this is red circle? It might well be red circle. Right? I think this could be red circle. Yes, this is red X. This just is red X, because what you see here is that red X is the sum of the other 2 green digits. And because red X is the sum of the other 2 green digits, this just is red X. Which means that this digit is green, if you like. Very good. So now if I ask where red X goes in this box, it now goes here, in fact. Because of the fact that it can't repeat on its own arrow. So this digit is green as well. Let's see, and this is a different way to take advantage of this. Yes, this digit now goes here. If you look at the red circle, Joao points out, because I know red circle is different from everything else, so red circle has to go here. So let's see. Yeah, red X certainly has 3 different ways to make it. Green circle's in one of these 2 places. Let's see. Garion says that okay, so these see the whole renbon. That's the point here that people are making. So so these need to be taken from the digits 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. But I need to take them only from the ends. So I definitely need to take a 9. Sorry, I definitely need to take a 1, because if I don't take a 1, that's going to be a pretty big problem. But if I do take a 2, then I'd have to also take a 3. So these can be 1, 2, 3, or 1, 8, 9. But 1, 2, 3 doesn't work, because that would make red X 3. And then we know, again, these are 2 different ways of making the sum, and that doesn't work. So in fact, red X is 9. And we can bring out Zach for the 9 dance. Boop, 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 boop. Woo! Boop, 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 boop. Wah! Boop, 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 boop. Wee! Boop, 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 boop. Wah! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So we can fill in some 9s and some 1/8s there, like that. Okay, and so so now red circle doesn't have a 1 in its sum because 1 is green. So that means that this is at least 5. Oh, box 1 also has a red X. Very good. And these are 1, 8, of course. Okay, so 1 of 1 and 8 is on these. So this renbon is either 1 through 6, or it has an 8 on it. And then there's 2 options for what having an 8 on it would mean. Oh, no. 9 is orange. So this renbon has a 9. So I know which one it is, actually. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which means these digits are 1, 2, 3, which means that these digits are 1, 2, 3. So we actually get this kind of business going on. Not 8. Those 2 aren't 9. One of these is 8. None of those are 9. These I know are also 1, 2, 3. Okay, so these digits are 4, 5, 6, 7. Just for the record. Oh, and that's a 9. If you just look at the column, that's the only place for a 9. Let's see. I know this isn't 9 for what it's worth, so this is at most 8. Oh, is 9 placed in box 3? Almost, at least. Oh, can 9 be on this renbon, I guess is the question. No, because this digit is... Sorry, because there's a 2, 3 on this... No, I don't know that there's a 2, 3 on this renbon, sorry. Let's see. It's exactly 2 digits from 1, 2, 3. Right. So 9, because these are all the same, that means none of these digits are 9. And these digits are... sorry. 9 is on the Renban. Sorry, this is much easier than what I was trying to do. 9 is on the Renban, because one of these is 9. So, indeed, that is a 9, which makes these 8, 7, 6, 5, which makes these... Oh, sorry, 4. I just threw out the 4 for some reason, which makes these 1, 2, 3. That one's not a 2. Because one of those is a 2, otherwise this doesn't work. So we've got all of that. Now, that makes these 1, 2, 3. If you ask where these digits go in this box, they go there. So the 1, 2, and 3 go there. And that means these are 1, 2, 3. Okay, and so the 1, 2, 3 does not go on the Renban with a 9, so one of these is a 9. Oh, right, these are 1, 8, 9, so that's a 1, that's an 8. Good. This 1, 2, 3 is not on this Renban, so this is not a 1 for sure. Oh, also, there definitely is a 3 on this Renban, so this digit's not a 3 for sure. Tiniest of deductions, but we'll take it. Let's see. 9 in box 8 is here, because again, there's a 2, 3 on this Renban, so there can't be a 9 on it, and 9 can't go there because of the arrow duplication. And 9 can't go here because 9 and green circle are different, so 9 actually goes there and there. So we've got all of that. I know that 8 is in here for what it's worth. So I know there's an 8 over here. It could technically be an 8 here, I think. Okay, this number is at least 5 now because of the 2, 1, 2, 3s in this order. The last 1, 2, 3, I guess I know this in multiple ways. There's a 1, 2, 3 on this. See this. Because if there's not a 1, 2, 3, then these are minimum 4, 5, and that would be a 9. So I guess that means the minimum sum of this is 5, which is a tiny deduction. In fact, this 2, 3 is one. Okay. So in fact, I could do better. This 2, 3 is actually on this arrow because it's not green. So this can't even be 5, actually. It's at least 6. Because it's got a number that's at least 4 on it plus a 2, 3. And likewise, in fact, more easily, this number is at least 6 as well. It's at least 6, and it's not 8 or 9. Okay, so red circle is a 6 or a 7 only, which means this number here is a 4 or a 5 only. This is a 6, 7. Green circle I know isn't 8, actually. Because green circle goes here. Very good. So there we go. So these are in fact a 6-7 pair, which means that these two digits are a 6-7 pair, which makes these 4-5-8, which makes these 4-5-8. That one sees the whole Renbon, so it's an 8 actually, because this Renbon definitely has a 4-5 on it, like all length 6 Renbons. So that's an 8. So no 8 goes over there. These are a 6-7, it would seem. So that one is green circle. And that one is red circle. For what it is worth. This is the other 4-5, just for the record. Row 8, column 7. Oh, okay. So if I look at this row, what I see is that there's a 1, 2, 3 in these cells. And so there's exactly 2 1, 2, 3s on this Renbon, is what Selena is pointing out, as well as Martin and Mehdi and everyone else who said row 8, column 7. So there's 2 1, 2, 3s on this, so there are 2 and 3, and so this digit has to be a 1. That is what people are saying. So we've got that. Okay, and so if it's 2, 3, what's the highest number on it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the answer. One second. We would like to rope the 198, I see. So the 198 goes down here, so it goes up here. So this is a 1, and this is an 8. So this is not a 1, this is not an 8. Likewise, these go here or go here. Right, this goes here. So this is a 4-5. And these go down here in some order. I guess I know that's not the red 6-7 for what it's worth. Green circle in box 4. Huh? Oh, that's not box 4. Let's try again. Green circle in box 4. Green circle in box 4 is there. So this is a 6 or a 7. Green circle in this box now goes in one of those two spots. Oh, green circle can't go here. This number is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. Or 8. But in any case, this number is not a 6 or a 7. And so the green circle in this box now actually is sudoku'd there. So this is the green circle. This is the 2, 3 that goes with it. So let's see. There's 4 ways to make 9. This is not 2 of them, for what it's worth. That's an actual triple in row 4. That's good. Yep, so we've got a 1, 2, 3. So these could be 7, 8, I guess. Otherwise, they're 4, 5, I think are the only options. Oh, this is green circle. By the fact that it's a 6, 7 pair. And so now the question is, where does green circle go in this blue? It goes there. Oh, 5, 6 is still a possibility. Yeah, 5, 6 is still a possibility. So that is my precious green circle up there. And then this is green circle. Oops. Okay, so I think we've got all the green circles now. Yes. Okay, so this is... Well, this could still be 1/8. But this is not any of those ways of making 9. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, very good. So red circle in column 5 now is in this box, but we also know that red circle on this renban is in this, is in this row, so that has to be the red circle here. Very good. So 6 or 7. 8 in this column is quite restricted. It's either there or there. Okay. This only has one choice, which is that it's not 1/8. And it doesn't have a 6 or a 7 in it. So this is just 4/5, which means this isn't 4/5 at the very least. It wasn't a bit in that particular instance. Where's the other 1/8 in column 6? It's not there. So it has to be there. And so that means that this isn't 1/8. And so this now is the other 6. No, this is... Wait, what is this? Didn't I just break the puzzle? No. This is 1/8. It still is 1/8, right? Because it's not... doesn't have either 6, 7, and it's not 4, 5. Oh, Joao thinks I screwed something up. Maybe not. Okay, so this is 1/8 is what happens. And so that's the 8 and the 1. And that's the 8 and the 1 and the 8. That's the 8 over there. Those aren't 1. Those aren't 8. That's not 1. Those are a 2, 3 pair. So now that's a 1. Okay, now that's a 1 just by sudoku. Oh, row 4, column 9 could be 1. Oh. I just did not correctly scan that. Thank you. Okay, so these can't be 4, 5 or 6, 7. So these are now only 5, 6. Is that correct? They're not 1, 2, 3. They can't be 4, 5 because it would break the row. They could be 5, 6. They can't be 6, 7 because it would break the row. Yeah, I think this can only be only be 5, 6 now. And we actually know the order because of this. So that's a 6 and a 5. And I think that actually unravels everything. Because now green circle is 7 everywhere it appears. And red circle is 6 everywhere it appears. And I'll leave one of each so that chat can engage for YouTube algorithm sake. Let's see. There we go. No 6, 7. No 7. No 5, 7. No 7. Okay, so we can clear out those. There we go. Okay, so this is a 2 or a 3. I can say that. Oh, this has become a 4, apparently. So that's a 5. So that's a 4. So that's a 5. More things. This probably isn't a 3 on this 6 arrow. So that's got to be a 2 and a 4. It's a 3 and a 5. Makes that a 2. Makes that a 3, apparently. Oh, this is quite restricted by math, I'm being told. It probably is a 2, owing to summing to 9. So that's a 2, because this needs 1. So that's a 3, which makes that a 1 and a 2, which makes that a 3 and a 1. Wait, was I right anyway? I think I was right anyway somehow. Let's see. These are 4, 6, so that's a 5. So we've got all of that. This is the other 4, 6, as they say. Oops. I think I could probably get this by Sudoku. It is a 3. I could probably get these by Sudoku and these by Sudoku as well. They seem to be a 3 and a 5 and a 4 and a 2. And that's a something. That seems to be a 2, which makes that a 3. 2. 3, 2. This is 3, 4, and I know the order. 5 and 4. No 4 over here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and sort of fill in the rest of this. So that seems to be a 5 and a 1 and an 8 and a 6 and a 4 and a 5 and a 4 and a 6 and a 4 and a 6. Very nice. Also, I appreciate that I did not actually have to use the fact that I had a name for everything. I thought I was really going to be coloring this grid in pairs of colors based on the roping. But I did not actually have to say anything like, but you know that purple, yellow plus red, green is blue, green. So blah, 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 which was what I thought might happen in the puzzle. But I was prepared. But very nice. Somehow I thought the 2-star Slitherlink puzzle was harder than the 3-star Renbon puzzle. But what do you know? Yeah, I probably would have really debated whether to put like a white dot or this Renbon. It would have been tricky for me. I'm not sure which I would have ended up doing. I think probably owing to the fact that this puzzle was on the easier side, I probably would have ended up saying, okay, fine, it can be a Renbon rather than a white dot. But if it were a 4-star puzzle, I would certainly have gone with white dots, I think. Aesthetics are so complicated. Yes, just an explicit, these 2 cells are consecutive in the rules. Yeah, probably with a passive-aggressive you're welcome at the end, like I sometimes do. That would probably work out. Yeah, the miracle empty grid. Yes, there we go. That would be perfect. Yes, the miracle empty grid with just a 7-page rule book that describes where all the where all the clues are. Imagine a purple line that went through these cells, and then I mean, that would tank the rating, but we do it for the bit. Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, well, thank you everyone for hanging out with me through stream today. Tristan is making a pasta sauce with garlic and basil and tomatoes from the garden, so I am quite excited to go eat it. But thank you everyone. Great series of puzzles today. Thank you to everyone who supports the rules. Or sorry, supports the stream. You can support the stream in lots of ways. So pressing thumbs up is great. If you're watching the VOD later and you want to leave a comment, that's always great. Or if you don't want to leave a comment, but you leave one anyway, that's also great. It turns out that whether you want to or not, it benefits me just the same. But thank you all. And thank you to all of you who support the channel financially. I really do appreciate that. It really does help keep things moving and keep things smooth out any technical hitches or any other sorts of things that tend to happen more often than one would prefer that they do. So if you want to support the stream financially, you can do that on Patreon, or you can click the little $ thing in YouTube. If you do that, you get the Zach emotes. Big Zach emotes coming soon. But thank you to everyone for all of that. And last but not least, thank you to the Turbines, Daniel, David, Franco, Nell, Nordy, Plonktime, and DDX. Thank you so much, everyone. I look forward to seeing you. It will be a week before I stream again, but Tristan is going to stream in the meantime, and then we'll be on our new schedule. So I look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.